Tune in to Arise, the new wave media experience with LaTonya Smiley and HR. Arise for a strong dose of love, joy, laughter, and information for healthy living.
Well, we're living in our purpose because God put us on this earth.
Thank you for joining us here on Arise Show. I have a special guest here, Seon Rodney. This is an individual who I follow on Facebook and who had a very good message. And the message was based on value. And I felt as if because of what's going on with Black Lives Matter and the injustice towards minorities, especially Black Americans, I just felt like value, the whole message that Seon Rodney had shared with us on Facebook was just appropriate for what's going on now. Welcome, Seon Rodney. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever the time zone of all your viewers and supporters, your covenant partners, your friends, your donors. I want to thank you for having me this morning on this value moment.
Good. What are your thoughts? Let's start here. What are your thoughts about what's going on now with the injustice, with the killing? But I must say that there is some progress. There has been 3 indictments in reference to Ahmaud Arbery case, and Georgia has just passed the hate crime bill, which is, we're kind of moving towards something positive. And I'm sure there's some other things to be noted that we are not aware of. But in the midst of everything that's going on, what are your thoughts?
First of all, we have to know what's our culture, what's our brand as human beings. All right? And this is crossing ethnicity line, color line, gender line, pedigree line. What is the culture and the brand of humanity? And the culture and the brand of humanity, I'm asking the question, I'm answering it also myself. The culture and the brand of humanity is value. You cannot take away value from humanity at all. The value of a thing is not in it, but it's the person who possesses that thing. Okay? So as we of different pedigree, different nationality, different color, different pigmentation, how we see the position that we have, what value we see in those people under our control, or so to speak. Because we deal with police brutality this morning, and the way how we see our culture, our people being succumbed to death unjustly. Because what happened, there is no value being placed upon our lives by these people. Also, because there's no value being placed upon us, therefore, we are the person who are victims of death unjustly. We die before ourselves, or what I say, premature death. And you look on the other spectrum of the fence, because value have been placed upon these people. Therefore, there is no law calling for accountability, no law calls for justice. Why that being said, someone sent me a private video where one of these police officers who killed George Floyd, he was in the Ford that killed George Floyd, going around shopping and having a happy life. While George Floyd is dead and gone, his daughter without a father, his fiancée or his child mother is without a prospective husband, and this young man is able to enjoy his life. Cause what? They saw George Floyd as having no value. He's not value to society in their eyes. He's not value to society in their mind. So what they have to do to remove from the Black society the value of the male. Why I'm saying the male? The male are there to protect the domain. The male are there to protect the investment. You cannot protect something unless you see value in that thing. You cannot maintain power.
Let me say this. Well, one thing, because I know I will forget. I just want to get that part when you say the male. I think historically, that has been the problem. That has been the main target in the Black community, to remove that protector, remove that covering from the Black community, the male. And so historically, the relationship with the law enforcement, there has been other entities, but specifically with the law enforcement, that law enforcement has come in the community, has been that in our community, not so much as the more like the not so much as the protector. So but just so more like the enforcer. So that whole historically that whole relationship is tainted from the very beginning. So how do you uproot that when the whole sense of value has never been there for us? Now, I can't say everyone. We already know it's not everyone. But historically, that has been a relationship with the Black community and law enforcement. So how do you, when there has not ever been value, how do you place value in the mind of somebody towards something in which you've never had value for? You understand?
We have to start with the conversation. We have to have the conversation, great and intelligent dialogue. And someone here have to be the big brother, the big nephew, the big uncle, the big father, the boss in the room, to eliminate feelings and emotion and have a great dialogue. And let us understand that the male have to protect his investment regardless of his ethnicity, regardless of his color, regardless of his creed. We have to protect as much as they have to protect. But there are different levels of protection. They protect because they are badged and they are gunned. We protect because we have to provide more the food on the table like they are. We have to provide the shelter. We have to provide the clothing. You remove us as fabric of society, not placing value upon us, therefore it become more on them because they are not much they can do as a ethnicity by themselves. We still need the truck drivers. We still need the person to build a home, the contractor. We still need the person at the marketplace, the vendor. So we need to cross the ethnicity line with a conversation. As much you may not see value in us, I want to let you understand we have great value. And it have to be reciprocal conversation that we saw value in you. So as much as you may be trigger happy, you need to understand that you are taking away value from a society. You remove the value from the society, you're not enough to bring value to your neighborhood, to your constituency, more so to your family. Because what? We all are born with different gifting, different ability. We all born different talented. Being a police officer is just one part. Wearing a badge and carry a gun is just one part. But there's a totality of the life of a human being. So everyone needs to come into a room and start teaching value and reciprocal value, despite you're in the penthouse or you're under the bridge. More so, we have to start with our kids at the dinner table. You got to start with our kids at the lunch table. We need to have that conversation more so in our home. Because what? Sometimes it's hard to train a tree when it is already big. Right. It's already bent. So we got to start with a generation that under us, that they will change their generation. It's a progression. It would not be instantaneous, but we need to start that dialogue.
I think you made a very a very good point about training and generation. I'm a proponent for training our young people. I am a proponent for that. I do want to take this time to include HR Garrison on the rise. Thank you for joining us, HR. Thank you so much. Can you hear us?
My pleasure. Yeah.
So, HR,
My
again,
pleasure.
we're talking about value. We have Seon Rodney here with us today, and he has been talking about value and the importance of value and the effect of value. When it comes to when they say Black Lives Matter, basically what they're saying is our life has value.
Amen.
And we want you, how HR, how important is it? How do you feel? How important is it for others to see the value? And that's because we're talking about the Black America. How important is that?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you very much for inviting me in on this conversation. But it's very important, especially to our young people. But my philosophy is that it's not only Black values. I don't want to be off the script, but all lives matter. But we need to respect each other to a degree that it places more value on what we see in front of us than what we think about throughout the day. I saw an example of a military soldier standing in a crowd of policemen last week, and must have been 100 policemen sent out to handcuff him, even down to a police captain. But they couldn't find reason to handcuff him because he said, I went out of this country to protect this country because everybody in this country mattered. And now I come back home to my country and you're killing them. But our lives matter. We are all important. When we fight to protect this country, we don't protect just one group of people. We protect young and old, Black and white, Chinese, whatever. So the issue no longer is about which particular group lives matter, even though we are doing the most suffering. But the issue is, are we going to respect one another? That's it.
Yeah, I do agree. I do agree that, you know, that all lives matter. But I think we're at a time now as a community. I feel that our issues as it relates to the Black community has sometimes it gets caught up in the scope of everyone else. And so in that, a lot of times the issues that solely affect our community gets lost. So I think we're just now at a point where we want to say, because I do appreciate how so many ethnicities, so many different people from all walks of society have come together for the sake of the Black community, which hasn't happened in some time. And so, yeah, I do agree that all lives matter. But I just feel like right now, we're in a time right now, culturally, we're in a time where it is time for the Black community and the things that are concerning the Black community and the things that have affected us from moving forward and growing economically, socially, educationally. This is the time for those issues to take a platform and be discussed and be dealt with. Seon, you have something to say?
Yes.
Seon Rodney.
Yes. Our life do matter, but again, we have to destroy the old mindset. All right?
We can't hardly hear you.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expect a different results. For over a period of time, we've been acting upon assumption and we're acting upon impulse and feelings. This is the time we can recognize that people are demanding, people are compelling, and people are enforcing value. Because in past times, we were doing the same thing, accepting one ethnicity be trampled upon because of devalued, one ethnicity being trampled upon being marginalized, and because of what was told of the older generation, come from way back from ancestral slavery and all of that, that we were not supposed to be valued. We're not supposed to have certain kinds of say. We must always be subservient. And because that's what happened, it was going on and going on for centuries, it was going on for decades. And when someone died at the hand of these people, it's just a drumbeat for a few days and a few seconds, and we go on with our lives. So they were emboldened more to devalue us more. And it's not nothing to put under the rug, but now it's more compelling, it's more demanding, it's enforcing that value be placed upon us. And because value being placed upon us now, therefore, it's a great place that we can bring value across ethnicity line, bring value across pedigree line. It's a call for a meaningful discussion, a meaningful conversation. I was told by my grandmother who is dead and gone, you beat the iron while it's hot. And now it's hot. The iron is hot because people are demanding, are compelling laws being changed. They're compelling reformation, and they're coming out now. And because now we have a support of different ethnicity and pedigree coming out in our streets and echoing from a place of seeing the pain, but they cannot understand because the shoes is not on the other feet. But what happened now is a time for a meaningful conversation, meaningful dialogue, that we need to understand we can value each other, not other emotion and sentiments because we work at the same place and we just give each other food or share some drinks together. But we have to have this discussion from the heart.
Yes.
This thing has to be felt. This thing is not only verbally. This thing has to be felt. And it's easy to train up a child. It's easy to get the young mind. Allow the young mind to be cultivated for the change that we want. So it has to be a discussion. And now is the time, while the iron is hot, while the heat is intensified, that we make sure we start this discussion.
Maybe Seon Rodney, maybe we need to come together and make sure this happens. Maybe we need to create a platform together for people to have this discussion, because I think that this is the foundation. And you know, especially again, when I heard your message, I just thought it was so appropriate, because I'm like, that is the foundation. The foundation is that we go through life, and you know, we go through our own life, and if our life is good, everything is based around us and what's good for us and what's in our circle and what's in our immediate environment. So we don't consider, a lot of times we don't consider anyone else. We don't value other people that's outside of our circle, that's outside of what we think, how people should live, how people should look, how people should go forth in life. So a lot of times our value is based on synthetic things, or synthetic perspectives. So I think that this is really good, and a lot of times we don't value each other is based on our childhood. What we've been taught.
It need a conversation, and we need to get it ASAP. We need to enforce it. Martin Luther King is the first space setter that set the trail for value. He said, that one day we would not be judged by the color of our skin and by the integrity of our character. We have to bridge down the silence. We have to bring to the forefront conversation. We need to let it be silence of the gadgets and the electronic device, and let's have a dialogue. Let's hear what the heart is saying. Let's get the feedback so we can scratch where it's hurt. We can apply the right medication to the right diagnosis. We need to have a conversation. Unless we're happy, we are doing the same thing and we will have the same results. The results will not come to us, but our children. We don't live for ourselves, we live for our offspring. And that's why we are protector. We don't protect ourselves, we protect our offspring. George Floyd is dead and gone. Who is the protector of that man's child?
Right.
Who is the protector of our moral values? Who is our protector of our emotional life? Who is our protector of our educational life? Who is our protector of our financial life? Where she looked for the male guidance that is removed from our life.
And you're raising a good point when you're saying, because you're painting a picture that is basically saying, I want the same thing you want. My life is deserving of the same thing that you feel your life is deserving of. Yes. Am I correct?
Yes.
Right. So that's pretty much the picture that you are painting right now. That, you know, you're telling, look, I am a man and I want the same thing for my family, the same thing you want for your family.
Exactly.
My family, right. And to get people to see that's you're exactly right. That's where we need to start. And I'm having problems with HR Garrison. I think he's having a problem with his Zoom. But I want to go back to what he was saying, because we get ready to sum it up. And yes, you know, all lives do matter. But until we get to that point where everyone feeling that all lives matter, we have to deal with individuals starting to value other people, value the other ethnicity, knowing that this because I'm Black, it doesn't mean that I want less than what you want.
For example, I may own a BMW 2000. You may own a BMW 2000, but they all have the same value. Okay, they're purchased on the same day. But I don't take care of my BMW because why? I don't see the value in the BMW. To me, the car has its value, but I'm the owner of the car. Don't really see the value in that car to maintain the value. You see the value in your car, the same year, the same value. I the one go more to the mechanic shop, but you go less. Why? You treat your car with high value. So therefore, your car gives you justice for the value you give to it. I treat my car with no value, even though it has the same value of purchase. I don't do an oil change. I don't do a tune-up. I don't do low wheel alignment. Therefore, I will be the one spending more money on my car versus you. So therefore, we have to have this conversation.
Yes.
We need to cross this line. Why are you here?
Right.
How do you know that you are important? Take away your badge, take away your gun, take away your title. What makes you feel complete as a person?
Right.
What makes you happy as a person? And we can come to a commonality from the feedbacks. Therefore, we can understand, we all share the sheer pain.
Right.
A man cannot understand the pain until he's taken time to do an inventory of self.
Right.
So it must be a conversation.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm down for it, Seon Rodney. You know, you want to come together and make this happen, you got a partner to create that platform for people to come together and just have that discussion. It could be a start right there.
Yes,
it could be a start.
I'm available when you are ready.
I'm sorry.
I say I'm available when you're ready.
Okay, we're gonna get it moving. I want to thank you, Seon Rodney, for coming out, for coming on the show and sharing that information. Again, God bless you.
Thank you very much for having me, and thank you for valuing this time that we spent together, because time is a currency with no exchange. So therefore, it was a value discussion, It was a value moment, and I thank you for your supporters and your friends and everyone that allow me to come on this show.
Thank you.
You have been listening to Arise with LaTonya Smiley and HR. Contact us at ariseshow2020@gmail.com.
And then once the end has come about, then you turn around and you look at all your failures and see that you are successful. So our purpose is to be successful, but it's not going to be easy. It's a step-by-step process. Once the process is completed, either your hands are raised in your endeavors, or even if you're at your side, you can still look at yourself in the mirror and recognize the fact that you have succeeded and finished until the end.
Contact us at ariseshow2020@gmail.com.